Surviving alone in the apocalypse is as difficult as it is tragic, because the truth is, in most circumstances, safety comes in numbers. But to house an entire community of survivors requires a lot of space. So today, I'm going to be building a fortress, a giant wall, a village within, all centered around my castle. And this is truly going to be an epic journey, so if you enjoy, please subscribe. We're officially on the road to 100,000. Kind of crazy to say, but anyway. Now, our journey starts with the biggest asset I currently have, my brand new helicopter. On this new adventure, we would have to deal with a lot of new challenges. Obviously, just having a supply for a lot more people coming in was a challenge enough. But in addition, every few nights we'd fight a horde that would constantly increase in size. And we're talking hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of zombies. And inside that horde were a variety of regular old zombies, but also sprinters. More sprinters than a beginner player could imagine dealing with. For now, my focus was firmly on the first goal. We needed food. But our home and our entire continent was already wiped clean, so that left only one place, across onto another continent, in the most dangerous city in Project Zomboid, Louisville. And so that is where we flew. But on the way, my companion spotted an undead wanderer that didn't look so undead.
You want to go down? We're going too high up for you to go.
Hello, look!
Hey!
We found it!
Dude, put us down, put us down, put us down. Hey man, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm kind of
Put your hands up! No, I'm just joking. No, you're right, man. Hey, we're on a looting run. If you want to come with us, you can hop in the back. That's all I can offer right now, though. We're not heading home.
I can help you guys a bit, yeah.
Now, the important takeaway from finding Thunder in the abandoned streets was that far more survivors were roaming these roads than ever before. And many of them were heading to the home we were leaving behind, which we'll get back to in a second, but for now, let's stay focused on the point. Looting the Grand Ohio Mall, which normally is no small feat, but we were relatively equipped.
Oh, I would not have used a loud gun.
Kezza, should we include this guy in the KLE?
Did you
So
shoot
we
him?
don't accidentally shoot him.
You
Well,
shot
I think
him?
if my shotgun goes in a wide blast.
We had opted to push further in to check the tool store at the same time. We were always on the lookout for more weapons, and clearing out the zombies here would mean we'd have a much safer time looting the supermarket. But the reality is that this late in the apocalypse, loot was pretty scarce, so we didn't really find much to write home about. We found a few non-perishables which we loaded up, and we felt it wasn't worth wasting more ammo pushing further in given the loot scarcity so far. We did, however, have one additional plan to get some food and ammo.
How's things going back there?
Interesting. We've encountered a lot of new strangers.
We went to Louisville, but there's like no fucking food. So we're gonna go to Brolo's base and steal a couple of things, and then we'll come back.
All right.
By the way, did my results come back about the fertility test? Oh, I think he left the radio.
Now, for those who aren't in the loop, my friend Mr. Brolo had escaped the apocalypse to the west and had left behind a base on Kingsmouth Island. And we weren't certain, but we were hoping he had left behind some ammo and food for us to make use of. Speaking of ammo, that was actually the second goal on our list. Given the large hordes coming in, we would need a lot of it. We had a decent stockpile, but supplying ammo for 20 more people was no small task.
What a fancy ass place this is.
Yeah, I didn't realize they upgraded. Holy fuck.
Now, this place was pretty pristine and beautiful, don't get me wrong. Our base wasn't there yet, but by the end of this adventure, we'd give it a run for its money. You could tell these walls had stories to tell, but not stories from my channel, so they're not as important. But with our helicopter stocked full of a heap of food and even some weapons, we set back on our way towards our own settlement. This was in most ways a partial success. We had some food, enough to keep us stocked for a little while, but as our numbers grew, our food would quickly diminish. For now though, goal 1 was dealt with in the short term. And it was perfect timing, since I can now direct your attention to this little symbol right in the top hand corner. As many of you will know, this is the symbol to indicate that tonight was a horde night, meaning that once it reached 8 PM, every player on the server would be bombarded with a horde mixed of shambling zombies and the dreaded sprinter zombies. Now, our base was somewhat prepared for an attack. We had walls around our structure, but as we returned, we would get quite sidetracked with a plethora of new arrivals to the area. And it's important for you to remember this symbol is here, since I certainly did not. I quite quickly lost track of it. which would be a costly mistake. I started meeting and interacting with some of the travelers from around the area instead.
Food and a crowbar. And coffee.
I could maybe do you like a little axe. Oh, cereal, nice. All right, that'll do. Thanks for your business.
I'm here to give you a donation for letting me stay in this.
You said you could stay in this community. I don't know you. What are you? Are you holding me up for positional approval in the community?
I'm just giving you a bag of ammunition.
What is
Interpret it
this?
however you
This is
want.
little peanut guns. What am I gonna do with these little pea shooters? What the hell am I gonna do with this? You see what I've got? Like, do you think I'm running around with a little pistol? What's your name?
Bug bugs.
Well, Bug Bunsen, take your little peanut guns. You can keep them. You'll need them.
No, this is my donation.
I don't want your donation. Yeah, you got the gift of the gap, huh? I can tell. I can tell you got the gift of the gap. You're hired. Welcome to the team. Come with me.
Alongside talking with some new people, I set forth basic plans for expanding and strengthening the outer walls. We'd start by expanding the walls themselves 3 tiles in, and place a second layer of walls, creating a catwalk around the entire length to ensure that the hordes would not breach our walls. But again, this would take time that we didn't yet have. So as the clock continued to push forward, we became more and more distracted with grandiose plans and conversations. And before long, we reached that 8 PM mark, and the hordes would begin to march forth, beginning what would henceforth be known as the Horde 1 tragedy.
Kezza, copy. Where are you right now? We need you
I'm
back
out
at
back.
base.
I'm out back. I'm here. I'm here. Oh my god.
Oh my god, Kezza. Kezza.
Run to the back. Be careful, you're gonna get caught in the crossfire. Careful, careful. Don't shoot at people without a faction tag. If you're not on the same faction, don't shoot. Lucas, you okay? My game is lagging out, man.
And what I saw when I logged back in was chaos. But before I can get to that, I want to talk about today's sponsor, REDMAGIC, and specifically their brand new smartphone, the REDMAGIC 11 Air. In terms of gaming smartphones, it doesn't get much better than this beautiful flagship level system. Just unboxing this phone, you can really get a sense of quality. It is a truly beautiful design with a transparent gaming aesthetic. The beautiful 1.5K resolution display has a 144 Hz refresh rate, and in person it is truly second to none. I can't think of a single smartphone gaming experience that has looked this good. But it isn't just a pretty picture. In order to run all your favorite mobile games at a high quality, it's equipped with a Snapdragon 8 Elite and Red Core 4. Pair that with either 256 or 512 gigabytes of storage, and it's capable of storing and running a variety of games with extremely high performance. The REDMAGIC 11 Air has a 7000 mAh battery with fast charging support. While gaming and running the inbuilt turbofan, this smartphone can last up to almost 7 hours. All that power allows you to run all your favorite mobile games like Call of Duty Mobile, League of Legends Wild Rift, Asphalt Legends, and even more. And all of these games look truly spectacular. All of this is run through REDMAGIC OS 11.0 with an upgraded game space. That's REDMAGIC's exclusive gaming hub, offering instant access to advanced performance tools, gameplay recording, and even more. I have truly had a blast just sitting down and making use of all the tools that you have access to. Click the link in the description for more details and level up your gaming experience with the REDMAGIC 11 Air.
I'm back, I'm back.
Help, 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 help.
Where are you?
I need help, I need help. I need help, I need help, I need help.
Stop running. Just move to the back wall. Lucas, are you around?
Yo, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I'm on the right side. Are you right next to me? Hey, I'm here. I'm in this truck. I'm just reloading. Everyone's fucking dead. Lucas, everyone's fucking dead, bro.
Out of our 5 core members online and the remaining players who had joined us on day 1, there was just 2 players who survived. Lucas and me.
We were not prepared at all, dude. I said, oh, the horde's coming. It's going to be a lot. And there was like 4 people turning up with no like weapons. Like they were, you know what I mean? Like it was just, they were basically, every single one of them was going to spawn an extra 40 zombies, but they couldn't kill 40 zombies.
Now, admittedly, this is probably not a huge surprise. Lucas and I were pretty experienced and extremely well equipped with weaponry, but us staying alive didn't cover the fact that we just lost valuable mechanic skills, medical skills, combat skills, and a lot of essential trades that we would now have to grind our way through again over the coming days.
We've got a lot of work to do if we're going to survive another one of those.
And we only had 4 days to not only clean up all this chaos and mess, but reinforce our structure to withstand an even bigger horde. This was a huge setback and a lot of lives lost across the board, but it was a challenge we would have to overcome. Lucas and I took an armored car outside the walls and began to make our way through the leftover zombies out the front, clearing out a safe path for people to return or arrive for the first time. And more people would quickly find their way to our walls, expanding our numbers. But this was a trade-off. The horde multiplied based off the amount of people. So yeah, more people arrive, more zombies, and more chaos. Anyway, what's done is done. We could only look onwards and upwards. We began the long process of clearing the inside of our walls, gathering everybody we had to pick up corpses and load them into piles or onto trolleys. This may not seem important, but the danger of corpse sickness increased when you were surrounded by, well, corpses. So it was a job that had to be done. And of course, we needed this space to build upon as we began constructions on our village, even if that was the last step of our plan. With our doctor now beginning the long road back to our home, I ran into another player who was fortunately medically trained. It was unfortunate, however, that he was not exactly long for this world.
Who is that? Mark? You're on your last life?
Hello. I'm on my last life, man. I
come
spent
inside.
a really long time looking.
We need to keep you safe, Mark.
Man, I'm a doctor, yes.
Come upstairs. Dr. Arthur just lost one of his lives, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind having an assistant. If you need stuff to help heal people, use the stuff in these cabinets. Make yourself a home. I'm sure Dr. Arthur won't mind sharing, you know, for the good of everyone.
As we started to get through the last of the corpses, I started to process exactly how much we had to do to work through our goals. And step 1 was clearly getting everyone on the same page. Not only was our motley crew of survivors completely disorganized with different tags and different intentions, but there was no form of leadership or guidance for them to work around. So I gathered everyone together in our throne room to walk them through our castle and determine the next steps to try and create something great together.
Alright, well, I mean, thank you for coming, everyone. It's a bit of a weird context to meet so many people under. In fact, I've met like 10% of you at best. The hordes are not exactly friendly, and we didn't anticipate that they would be so dangerous. And several of our stalwarts at KL Emporium here were... what's the word, Lucas?
Acquiesced.
And yet here we stand with a whole group of new people. You know, hopefully our veterans will find their way back, but it's safe to say that if we don't do some serious work, we are not going to survive another horde like that. It's actually worse than that because we were getting the amount of zombies based on how many players were in our area, and our player count just you know, pretty much over doubled. So next time it's going to be over twice as many.
That's comforting.
Yeah. Anybody have any concerns or, you know, feelings?
Not unless you want us to.
And Natalie,
Well,
Natalie, come stand up here for a second.
Oh.
All right,
Okay. My fault.
guys, this is Natalie. Natalie is now the floor manager because Natalie gets it. See, here we're all about business. All right, feelings mean nothing here. You understand? We're all about survival and business and making money. Although there's not really many people to trade with outside these walls. Let's get started with the tour. This is our trade area. You know, we can provide you with some supplies through these windows here, but if we ever see you behind that blue wall, you'll be killed. This is our Ruby Town Ruby Gas franchise. This is my bus. If you touch my bus, I'll kill you. So this is the communal floor. We've got some like player homes in here. This is the disco floor. Welcome to the KL Emporium market floor. Now we are gonna fill this up with stock you know, that's available to employees. And finally, Lucas, why don't you take it from here?
Welcome. Lucas's Restaurant and Fight Club. Still in construction.
It's been a long apocalypse.
Oh, yeah. Do you have an argument you can't seem to solve, a disagreement? Well, you'll be able to fight it out here and enjoy quality served food.
I just want to be very clear. I have no involvement in this. This is all Lucas's idea. All right, and here's the roof. It's cold. Let's go back inside.
Hey boss, do we get disabilities?
I walked through the plans for structures and the next steps with our growing group, and things started to finally get moving in the right direction. And as if things weren't stabilizing enough, along came another new member of our crew.
Kezza.
His name, Jack, who took it upon himself to start the long road to a bountiful farm.
You know,
A good idea to start out in them.
you're 100% correct. Let's put them on the right side here.
So some of these longer term goals were at least in progress now, but they would take time, and we'd have to continue to survive against the hordes throughout that time. And if it wasn't already apparent, our new arrivals had started to increase in quantity. We already had 10 or 20 people floating around inside the walls doing their part. I tried as best I could to distribute essentials to the people who didn't already have them, especially guns and weapons. Considering how poorly the last defense went, it was clear people were not properly equipped. So every spare gun and melee weapon went out onto the floor for people to disperse amongst themselves. As everyone got to work, I did my part too. First, spending some time shifting all the wayward vehicles to the northern area of the compound. Since a lot of them would either have keys held by me and Lucas, this was the job I specifically needed to do. I took a quick break to have something to eat, and as you can see, really important jobs were underway. While various survivors died from infections and wounds, our new apprentice Dr. Mark took care of a very essential task. Preparations were in full swing on my return, and while everyone shuffled around, I tried to cover bases that we hadn't thought of. In the last horde attack, a heap of zombies breached the makeshift car barricade since it had holes in it, so I shifted more cars into the space to completely cover the opening. But I wasn't the only one getting things done. See, if you've never played with this many players before, you would be shocked how often people need direction, resources, and guidance. Survivors are needy creatures, and normally this is something I would just deal with at the detriment of my own peace of mind. But Natalie was my shield.
Natalie, where you at?
Everyone would just flock to her and ask the questions while I roamed around twiddling my thumbs. And it was truly bliss. While Natalie handled all the boring stuff, I got to work on the thrilling adventures of placing floors around the inside of the wall, which would become the floor of our new inner sanctum. Since I was pretty much an expert in building and carpentry, I was able to do this much quicker than the average person. And that's on top of the already fast building sandbox settings. But time was already running out. See, across this period of time, we were already nearing the final hours before the next wave from hell. The return of that little symbol on the top right of the screen meant our days were numbered, or day, I should say. My only goal to accomplish at this point was to try and finish the walls. I put all three hands on it and kept working my way around, tile by tile. Don't get me wrong, even with fast building and reduced weights, this kind of stuff is still a slog, but it was a necessary one to avoid further deaths. Oh, and for those who were Zomboid heads, you will know that by default, these walls are indestructible since they weren't placed by players. But rest assured, we had taken care of that in the interest of fairness, and you'll see just what that costs us later in the video. With half the flooring placed, I rejoined the group as we went over the plans ahead for the horde.
I have a question for the managers here. Is there any kind of game plan here?
All right, I know what you guys are thinking, okay? What are we really fighting for out here? And it's sometimes you lose sight of like what's valuable out here. Well, don't worry. Look ahead of you. Look at your management team. This is who you are keeping alive. So just remember, when we're fighting against hundreds of zombies and you have to dive into the horde to protect your management team, remember that at least your management team will live on and be able to manage more people. Okay? Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Damn right.
I love management.
Anyway, like statistically speaking, there will be 500 zombies attacking us tonight. The focus is always you want to pick off sprinters first. That's the priority. Realistically, we have to protect the walls for as long as we can, but if they break in, the best thing we can do is kind of split apart, pick them off, and target the sprinters. Because it's nighttime, there is going to be 15% sprinters. That's a lot of sprinters. 2 sprinters and you're dead. 2 sprinters and you run. Understand? 2 sprinters on you, you fucking run. You go to someone else, get some help.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, let's get back to work.
As my chain of command says, embrace the suck, survive, fight, and keep it going.
Hoorah.
Yeah.
Let's focus for those who are building. If we can get that second wall layer up, that's going to be huge.
Given the time, I conceded defeat on the floor getting done today, which to be honest was fair enough since they were really for cosmetic purposes instead of functionality. Walls, however, were functionality first. I placed every second wall as I worked my way around, since these walls had to be staggered for their design to loop. And while I did this, some other survivors worked from the other side to fill the space. Along the walls, we had a few spaces for doorways and a few staircases to get up onto the catwalk and provide us with vantage points for the horde. And with the diligent efforts of everyone involved, we accomplished our goal with just a couple of hours to spare, taking our posts around the compound and preparing for the undead, far more prepared than our first effort.
Thank you. Alright, time to blast.
Yeah, Kezza. Nothing.
Yeah, we're good here, we're good
Has
here.
anybody heard from the other side?
No. Oh, we got a few over here. Yeah. In the corner, left side. We got Sprinter inside, Sprinter inside. Alright, check externals, keep moving. I don't see any, none bottom right side.
Top left is almost clear.
Here, saloon, there's leftovers of saloon, plenty of them. Can we check perimeter, please? Do a round around the perimeter. I'm going left. Looks like we're gonna have a few at the back. I got a Sprinter on me.
Oh yeah, there's a few around too.
Oh, I got two. I need help. On me, on fence.
Which way do you go?
Two here. Ugh, that was a freaking party. As you can see, this time things went a lot smoother. Our extra preparation and togetherness had prepared us for the undead. And as far as I could tell, we went without any fatalities. But this was not the end, because the next Horde nights were going to take a significant jump in the quantity of undead, so nothing was guaranteed. And frankly, with our compound setup, we were now also focused on creating the village that would fill these empty spaces. With our group nearing 30 members rotating through online and offline, our second goal of collecting survivors was now complete. But the next steps were all about taking this settlement to the next level. For now though, we called it a night, before returning in the morning.
For now, I'll just jump right into it. I hear that we're supposed to be kind of making the place more, effective, more accessible, that sort of thing, right? Should we focus on that? Because one of the main things I notice is people are so busy with other stuff, myself included, that we totally neglect ourselves, and then we don't have a convenient place to refuel.
Natalie was spot on. This marks the beginning of the second stage of our adventure, the birth of the greatest settlement, the village within our walls. Now there are a lot of caveats to a plan like this. First, even with our server being set up to provide ease of access to buildings, we would still need a gargantuan amount of logs and planks. We're talking thousands and thousands of planks to accomplish what we wanted to. Lucas, being the hoarder he was, which you can see plenty of in our previous separate chapters, had actually accrued hundreds of boxes of nails. But the primary hurdle now was the planks. Fortunately though, we had a lot of numbers, so this was a hurdle that, with time and focus, we could overcome. To start our plan, I walked through the general idea with our little army.
me. The roads obviously already exist in some capacity, so we kind of want to work around them. So we might do some buildings like on this side of the road here. But yeah, we just want to build like, I want everyone to have their own space, their own building. That's the idea. It's going to be a tall task to kind of build a bunch of buildings, because it's going to take time, and especially to make them look good is going to take time. But that's the idea. We want to have a bunch of buildings. I would say I want like 10 plus buildings. They don't all need to be essential community buildings, but some can be. So you talk about like a cafeteria or like a water building, like those can be larger buildings. But then we also just want like player houses and like personal buildings, little stores, just to kind of provide that environment of like a village inside the walls, if that makes sense.
Now, if it wasn't apparent to you, I mentioned the value of Jack earlier, and this giant farm was Jack's value demonstrated. He had led a small team in digging out a large field and planting every single seed we had collected, but this would still take some time to grow. So we were hoping that our non-perishables would last us long enough to get to that point. All the while though, we had a few looters clearing out the surrounding areas where necessary. I focused my efforts once again on the building. If you're good at what you do what you're good at. So I began to relay the catwalk with stone tiles and build it further and further out. To tackle larger hordes, these catwalks would become essential, giving us line of sight and safety from any oncoming sprinters. By the time I worked my way along the front edge, first constructions had already begun on the buildings surrounding the castle. And while they looked good for what they were, I could tell in the process of collecting more planks for the catwalk that we were already running low.
I think forego the building right now. I think focus on just building up planks, because they're just going to run out and then we won't have, you know what I mean? Like, and I honestly think at this point, take everyone. If we don't get logs or planks, this whole thing is going to come to a grinding halt.
Nonetheless, I continued along, clearing through more and more of the catwalk with what planks were already there. After making it halfway around, I took some time to seal up one of the biggest glaring weaknesses of the southeast entrance. See, while zombies were getting caught up in the car barricade, the majority of them were climbing straight through the windows of the little building. So I opted to just seal it up completely, which would hopefully delay them for a little while. Over the next hours, I continued the catwalk, and even spent some time doing grunt work and cutting planks. Couldn't be above the most boring job, because if I was, then I shouldn't expect other people to do everything for me. Plus, I could just sit there and watch TV while working. And across the next day, I trudged along, finally completing the arduous task of constructing this catwalk and completing the outer compound. As for further protections, there was one man equipped for the job. Alex, who had created this monstrosity in the former location of Rubytown, took over works on the main gates. And as you can tell, he was doing an exceptional job of converting our entrance into something more substantial. I mean, did it add that much protection in reality? Not really, but it had a lot of aura, and that was far more important. And as I addressed the most pressing issue of the floor plans of our new buildings not being aligned, you can see in the corner of my screen the results of the dedicated plank acquiring effort. Our storage crates were now holding what was nearly 5,000 planks, which I felt comfortable was enough to get the majority of our settlement complete. Now, between all this tiring work, we tried to keep the village entertained through HR approved activities like fights to the death, and other activities like, actually it really was just death fights. With the majority of our logs cut, it was time to begin further constructions, which I assigned Alex to oversee and lay out for us.
Alex, here's what I need you to do. I don't trust anyone else to have the overall intelligence and design sense to understand the goal here, okay? I want to get the floor plan down for this setup, right? The idea is we're going to have like a bunch of different buildings and little roads between them, and it's all going to look symmetrical and clean and nice.
And as our footprint grew, so too did something else. No, that wasn't a joke, and if you thought that, your minds are fucked.
Then there's some ready for harvest? Oh, these are the first ones you planted.
Yeah, potatoes.
Oh my goodness.
I walked through the halfway stage of our neighborhood. This wasn't its final form, but it's as good as it was gonna get before the next horde arrived. And it was impressive to say the least. This has nothing on what it will look like at the end of this adventure, trust me. Seeing how far we'd come, however, made me reminiscent of where we began this journey. So forgive me if you haven't been exactly in the loop of everything that came before this chapter, but I couldn't help but take a short trip down memory lane. Climbing in my moving base, my bus, I switched off my radio and headed down the highway. What was coming was the largest horde yet. It wasn't the final horde we'd face in this last chapter, but it was the final one that wasn't manufactured by the gods, if you will. I arrived at Lanesfield, or Rubytown, to the abandoned gas station, where once some of our companions had resided. It needed a little bit of TLC and clearing out, but I spent some time clearing it out and replacing the generator so that I could take care of myself in the privacy of the back room. Not like that. Get your head out of the gutter. No, I washed clothes, bathed in the sink water, and prepared myself for the battle to come, thinking of all the steps that had got us here. And once I'd finally prepared myself, I hopped back in the bus and headed home, collecting some abandoned tea bags from my friends along the way, arriving home just in time for this, our largest battle yet.
Good luck, everybody.
Lock in, everyone.
Let them come a bit closer so our shots are more accurate. Arthur, don't look alive!
That's what this is.
Ready to get up top? Other side's cruising.
Good work, everyone.
We're doing great. How you guys doing? I'm checking in.
I think we can push out here. Hey, pick me up, Lucas. Yeah. Wow,
I really hope you make it.
that went too well.
How did you take so much damage?
You've got one of the fucking things.
By the
way.
I lagged out and I got overwhelmed by sprinters.
Natalie, you were hurt?
Hey, it's okay.
She's
I knew this was
bitten.
gonna happen.
Now, unfortunately, there were some minor casualties. Not only did we lose a few of our new survivors to their last life, permanently removing them from the server, but our heroic manager Natalie was also bitten on a body part she couldn't exactly remove. So we honored her with a precious responsibility of being the first one to enjoy the thrill of falling from the castle roof.
Natalie, take a look out there. Do you see all your employees down there?
Yeah, I see them. They're coming.
Exactly. They'll watch proudly as you die with honor. You will become the first victim of the great castle.
Going to the farm. Can I look at the rabbits?
You can look at the beautiful drive-in on the way out. You see that beautiful screen over there?
Yeah, I just wanted you to know that I joined today and I've only known you for today, but you made me feel really, really welcome. You saw me and that was very special.
All right, Natalie, come on. Business is business. Let's wrap it up. Oh,
There we go.
I still think drinking bleach would have been better.
oh, I didn't see it. She just disappeared.
Although it was kind of buggy on my end, but that's Zomboid for you. We gathered everyone together to feast on some of the first harvest of the farm and headed off to sleep. Now, over the coming days, I logged in intermittently to fuck with survivors, to fight some hordes, and to just enjoy the final hours. But then I logged in for my final time to see just how far our settlement had come in our absence. And there's no better way to describe this than just to show you the work of my amazing, amazing community, for which I cannot take full credit for. This was a village, a city almost, inside our compound. There were food stalls, tea houses, military shops, clothing storage. There were residential properties, streets, roads, and, well, whatever Lucas built.
So, Kezza, as I was saying, the legal services for our wonderful empire. It's a room I think truly embodies me as a person.
Oh, heavens.
Come on in.
I don't know if I want to go in there. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Oh, you don't need that. It's just stuff like that. I'm surviving quite fine.
Oh my god.
It's good for the immune system.
Oh.
Come on, whoa, I ain't gonna bite you.
Are you sure?
You're wearing shoes.
Hey, I killed all the rats yesterday, just for you.
Is that a body bag?
No, this is my storage system.
That looks like a person.
Look, don't ask fucking questions, Doc. Don't ask fucking. I don't ask what you do in your goddamn office. I know what you've been up to with those bodies.
These beer cans are empty.
Oh, I've been thirsty.
Why are there a bunch of furry magazines that are labeled Kezza on them?
What?
Well, you see, some people pay a lot of money for them, and well, no.
What's more frightening is why have you scratched out all of the eyes in all of these high Z magazines?
I don't ask what you do in your time, Alex. You and your tea
It's
bags.
true.
Well, I'll never be going in that room again.
Even beyond the disgust, I relished the personality that had been built into this once lifeless space. Each of our castle floors was complete. Supermarkets, clubs, fighting pits. Outside, Alex had led the efforts of creating mammoth reinforcements, giant walls, guard towers, even an outpost across the street. Like I said, I cannot take credit for this. This is all my amazing community's work while I slacked off. But there was one thing I could do: destroy it. See, this was supposed to be an impenetrable fortress fit for an apocalypse, so it was my responsibility, despite its beauty, to put it to the test. We were going to face one last attack, a horde amounting to approximately 2,000 zombies, to see if this construction could really outlast the undead. And so enjoy the last battle of the moving base, the castle, the village within, and the fortress.
They're inside the walls on the west side. Oh my god, they're really inside the walls. Move, move, move.
I think that was most of them.
Yeah, we were too powerful, man. I mean, that was the point, right?
Lucas and I careened around the exterior, cleaning up the remaining undead. The two of us who had been together from the first chapter of this adventure, relishing our victory. Yeah, we took some damage, but we were alive. Together, our partnership had created a business, a group, and then a community. A journey that will be etched in history. So until the next journey begins, I have to once again say, good luck out there, survivors. See you in the next one.
You know, I think you and I, we did something great.
Yeah, man. Are you talking about the human trafficking thing?
Oh, yeah. It's employment. It's employment. At best, it's indentured servitude.
Yeah,
At
no.
best, it's indentured servitude.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying.